There's no way. Did he actually win? Did he break its skull? I mean, I guess you could say that's underwhelming, but on the other hand, that is, I guess, realistic. Enough force in the head would just crack you, right? I don't even give a even if you have an issue with how fast he beat that, this is everything. Usually the character would be like trying to hide his accomplishments. He's fucking done with that. That's amazing. Having to restart from scratch, taking 6 fucking years to level up. You cannot tell me that this isn't Rudy's mechanics on hard mode, you know what I mean? Love it. Don't want their family to starve to death, huh? I love him as an MC. He knows how to play it in. This poor boy's been starving, and if he can't hunt anymore, no one can hunt. Still gets fucking bonked on the head, though. It's kind of funny when you think about it. The way he's learned how to defeat those birds are basically learning from her and how she beats him over the head. So, their usual hunts are once every 10 days, which is reasonable. There's probably a few days to go in, a few days get out. That's some bull. I'm replaying The Witcher 3 right now, which is probably why it's on my mind, but there's a quest. Red Baron, is that what he's called? But depending on how you play that quest, he might hang himself. Maybe this Baron suffers that fate, you know? I mean, here's the thing. A show called Hell Mode, I honestly didn't think it'd be that hard. Like, yeah, you're setting the thing to Hell Mode. How hard? 6 years. It took 6 years for this guy, Isekai'd into a world designed like a video game, to go from level 1 to level 2. Now, that truly sounds like hell to me. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Now, granted, this bozo's loving every minute of it because he wanted a game that would feel like a grind. Well, a grind that is. But when you have an intro that starts... I mean, it's getting more popular these days because Mushoku Tensei kind of opened the floodgates of starting from baby and working your way up throughout your life. But the Mushoku Tensei style opening only to watch someone truly grind and grind and grind, but most importantly, showcase mechanics that most isekai are afraid to flex. Like, I'm not saying this is the only show that has bartering and showing the mechanics of an economic environment. I mean, Spice and Wolf is right there, of course, not isekai, but still, you know, has a fan base. But most of these shows, you know, they consider it boring. So even if it's in the source material, the production committees make sure to cut that out in favor of the action Unga Sakuga Fest. Where this show, I don't know how they do it. It's basically 2 episodes in one. You do get that action, you get that family, but most importantly, you're also seeing a man actually take time to understand the currency of the world, how bartering works, what's expensive, what isn't, so he can take care of his family now that he determines that, you know what, even if I believe this is a game, this is real to them, I need to make sure that we survive the winter. This show is fucking awesome. And I'm not overreacting. Like, this is seriously a top 5 anticipated show of the week every single week for me. Now, if you got this far in the video, you know what to do. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and Patreon is where you'll catch my full live reaction to all these episodes and more, which also does help fund the channel and videos just like these. The biggest surprise for me was actually what ended up happening with him kind of revealing a lot more than I was expecting to his family. So, bro, when he defeats the first KFC chicken, he can kind of like justify it as, you know, I kind of got lucky, right? Like, you know, I bit some wings and, you know, I took care of it. I'm stronger than I look. But the fact that he went out of his way to actually reveal that God's been talking to me. Now, this wouldn't work in every fantasy show. That could probably just be seen as crazy or blasphemy. How dare you take the Lord's name in vain? Whatever type of nonsense it might be. But if he wanted to continue to look after his family, he can't just continuously going after these Cobra chickens, right? So by basically saying when I was 1 year old, the voice of God was in my head, basically set me out on a path. I didn't say anything early, probably wouldn't believe me, it was crazy. And a few months ago, they even explained why I was considered shit when we got my reading done. I like the fact that he was logical enough to be like, hey, this is something that I can use to my advantage. I'm not going to say I'm a summoner. That's a little too much for right now, but it kind of presents the path of not only being able to reveal his summoner class, which eventually will be more of a known thing now that it's been patched into the world as the, you know, the oracle, the goddess has said. But what's most important is that he was trying to be more of the man of the house, but who's going to trust some 6-year-old, right? Like, even if dad's wounded, you don't send your 6-year-old off to go hunt the wild boar. But by establishing that he's more important than he seems or has been letting on, and he continuously shows those moments, it allows for him to get his foot out the door, which in return makes their family life a lot more stable as dad recovers but most importantly, allows for him to be listened to like he's an adult. Because unfortunately, the Baron of this area has decided to increase the number of boars needed per year from 10 to 15, and in the next year, it will be 15 to 20. Also wants the commoners to start coming around, which we already know the last time the commoners are the reason Dad nearly died. But bro basically slaps his dick on the table and says, listen, we just need to make the commoners useful. Now, it's an easier said than done thing, but I can appreciate the fact that they're willing to listen to him now, because not only have they been seeing his talents over many months as Dad was recovering, but they also know he's blessed by God. They really covered their tracks to make all the characters remain intelligent. I mean, literally an episode prior, both adults here were like, bro, you can't go hunting. You need to take care of yourself. You're a child, right? And now we can see that they believe that, no, like his talents are proving quite useful, which is why bro is going on the hunt. Now, granted, it does look like there's some troublemakers. Now, luckily, I don't think everyone's going to be a troublemaker here, but some of these faces, they do give me some bad vibes. They're going to be arrogant. They're going to think they're a know-it-all. So I am interested to see what his plan will be in order to deal with this. But nonetheless, it's such a good episode. The fact that this guy too was like, you know what, I'm never going to sell my expensive medicine again. There's some bum who came in here. It's usually 5 gold. He bartered me down to 3, said he'd pay me back, never did. And what does our boy do? He gives some jerky. He says, thanks. I mean, my dad would have died without you, and I'll bring you some more next time. Probably is going to come in clutch at some point, maybe even in this exact boar hunt. Because, you know, that type of kindness and, you know, maturity doesn't come around often, especially from that of a 6-year-old child. I also quite like the dynamic that he has with this man and the kind of uncle dynamic that's going on, because the way they bartered down with that initial bird, because unfortunately they're taxed out the ass. I mean, commoners have to pay 3 gold a year, and the serfs or whatever they're called have to pay 60% of whatever they have. So to be able to keep most of that bird was, you know, not normally expected. But the way they outbartered by saying, you know, if it wasn't for this and this, you know, our best hunter would have been able to do more. So you're really starving the kid. It's just really adorable dynamic, and it just feels like an uncle and nephew, and it's just absolutely amazing. Just a really good show. I'm continuously enjoying it more and more. And to be honest, it will piss some people off. But will I be surprised if I put the show in peak category by the end of the season? No. Right now, it's consistently good, but to be honest, the next month of this show could become consistently great if they keep up the pace. I love it. I like the 3D. I said it last week. I was actually pleasantly surprised people agreed with that statement. Usually people insult me because how dare you like mid, but no, the 3D really does have some fun texturing to it, and I think it really works for the art style in question. Let me know your thoughts down below. I mean, I really think this is one of the rare times an isekai lives up to its, like, dramatic name, Hell Mode. It's like, no, this actually is Hell Mode. You tell me 6 fucking years for 1 level up? Fuck that shit. He's gonna be level 7 by the time he dies at the age of 90, watch. Thoughts down below. Drop a like, show your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and yes, Patreon for live reactions and exclusives. Like, hey, I love to give video shoutouts to my patrons because they make these videos possible. So today we got Navenga Games, Shadow Clone Rex, Zane Zardonks, Gabby G, Attack Owl, Dugadman, Birdnest, Enderwolf, Gomasin, Ciaris, Ryuki, and we also have Kevin. So I appreciate the support. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.